Hello. This is new. We're starting a podcast called Adopt, Don't Shop for rabbits. We're friends with the Rabbit Rescue, so we will be helping them out, and they will help us out with these videos. So for the first episode, we just want to talk about our first rabbit, who was named Dolly.
Yeah, my husband has allergies, and when the kids started to pop up some allergies, we realized I was probably allergic to things too. Little things like chocolate or, chlorine. So as a swimmer, having massive reactions in my eyes. We looked through the list of allergens for everybody on the list, and we realized that bunnies wasn't on there. Rabbits was not part of my husband's makeup. None of the kids were allergic to rabbits. And we thought, my goodness, here's this guy who's gone his whole life without having a fuzzy friend, always feeling sick and stuffed up and having asthma attacks when around animals. So we decided to give it a try. And we went to the Calgary Humane Society. They had, I would say, probably about 10 rabbits that we looked through. We settled on this lovely, kind of affectionate, appreciated pets kind of a rabbit. Yeah. They did explain to us that this rabbit was a senior rabbit, and they said that she came from the streets, so found somewhere in Calgary, and was brought in, and they figured, although they didn't know its actual history, they figured it had to be a senior bun because she was already starting to get the beginnings of cataract, so starting to lose her sight. But she did really well with us. She settled in quite nicely. You might be able to hear our Flemish giant Babs in the background.
She's playing with some cardboard.
She's playing with cardboard. Yeah, it's great just to sort of reuse things that are going to get recycled anyway. So it kind of gets the last little bit of love or attention before being recycled. So Babs is just off to my side here, and beside Babs is actually a little bunny named guy. Domino. Yeah, and
we're trying to bond them.
We're hoping to bond them. We're going to talk about bonding in later episodes. We're going to introduce
all of our rabbits, and then we'll get into how to take care of your rabbits.
For sure, because Dolly was pretty special, and as a senior bun, they guessed that she was about 6 years old, and we really loved this rabbit. She was very affectionate, so she was one of the rabbits that would lick you, lick your shoes, lick your toes, lick your nose, just lick. Yeah. She was a licker. And when rabbits lick you, it's like them saying, "You are mine. I am caring for you. You are mine." And so it shows possession. So if you get a new bun and the bun's running around and they're kind of like checking out the space and they might start licking things, it's like saying, "I like this. I really want it. It's mine. It's my thing."
Also, if they chin it, so they rub their chin on it, then it's theirs.
So they've got their little scent glands right here, and so they'll go.
I always say if a bunny chins you, you're their possession.
Yeah. Because exactly. You're mine. You're mine. You're mine. Anyway, so Dolly was a lovely rabbit, but then, having a rabbit, we kind of learned, so rabbits can get lonely, and they actually usually live with companionship. They're not solitary animals, and so we thought, we should maybe think about getting another rabbit for Dolly, and we did that. We went back to the Humane Society, and it was really nice because with rabbit rescues or adoption situations, any kind of, SPCA, they're gonna first spay and neuter your animal before you get it, which is super important with rabbits because you can have like 1 million rabbits within a year kind of thing. If you just base it on like over and over and over all the different rabbits, they can basically mature within 3 months or so to 4 months, and then they can start reproducing. And our domestic rabbits, every 32 days they can have a litter. And what's crazy is that females have 2 tracts, so they can actually be pregnant with 2 litters at the same time, which, number 1, is super exhausting for the rabbit, and number 2, just like it's cruel. It's no way to raise her. Buns are there to be your companion, not to be your breeder. But so getting back to Dolly was already spayed when she came to us. Bolt, our second rabbit, did bond with Dolly, and it was pretty good. But in terms of Dolly, she did settle in with Bolt. They were content. It was lovely to see them like cuddle together and just spend time and play together.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
But Dolly eventually, as she was a senior bun, we actually had her for like another 5 years.
Yeah, we had
So
her.
if we assume that they kind of guessed around the 6-year mark because of the cataracts,
She was around 11 years old.
which
Which is a decent age for a rabbit.
Yeah, we really did help to extend her life.
Yeah, and she had a good one. Like, she was a very loving bunny, and she loved Binky.
Yeah, and they were free roam.
Yeah.
They really did have the run of the show. And she just loved to be under my bed. So she kind of stayed upstairs, and Bolt was a little bit more adventurous, but always was back to cuddle with her in our room. So Dolly eventually became sick, and we noticed that she was starting to get kind of dirty. Like, she wasn't doing a good job of cleaning herself. And if you've learned one thing about rabbits is that, they don't have a lot of smell.
They're a very clean animal.
They really are. So you can litter box train your bun, and if they start making messes outside of that litter box, it's because maybe you haven't cleaned it. So, because they really will. They'll be like, no, I like it this space. It's like,
And
that's where I leave my
If you ever do
yuck.
get your bun, let them poop in a corner first, because they'll claim their pooping corner.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you just put the litter box there, and they'll use it.
Yeah, and then part of that litter box training becomes, oh, they seem to be like trying to use this area for a litter. So you just like throw another litter box in that space. If you're free roaming, it just gives them like the signal, hey, we want it to stay clean, and they usually get the idea pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dolly.
Yeah, Dolly.
So sometimes really hard to talk about Dolly because
She was really close to all of us.
She was pretty sweet. We loved her quite a bit. And, there was once upon a time when my kiddo maybe got too close to Dolly when she was starting to get a little bit sick. And she showed it. She was grumpy with you that couple times.
Well, when we first got her, she did bite me on the nose.
Yeah, like
But
you're a
she
little
was
too
scared.
close there. Yeah.
She was a little scared, so. I
And
don't
we've
blame
certainly
her.
learned a lot about bunnies, haven't we? Like, what's the best way that you've found for a bunny getting to know you and being, like, friendly?
Ignore it.
Ignore it.
You sit in the corner and you ignore it, and it'll adventure on you.
Yeah, spend some time with your phone.
And then, like,
looking away and ignoring wherever they are.
And once they get used to your scent, they're like, okay, this is good, right? They'll be like, okay, you can pet me now, or okay, you can pick me up now.
Yeah.
Like Babs, like I've spooned her. She's like a spooning bunny because we spent that time saying hello and ignoring her.
Yeah, and letting her come for the attention she wanted. And yeah, you can get to know pretty quick for a bunny. I actually never really realized how much bunnies like the end of their nose.
Right?
All the way up to
You
their
wouldn't-
forehead, right? And
Yeah.
I've always pet them on the top of the head and maybe tried to get behind the ears. But it actually starts with that nose to the top of the head
Yeah.
because there's so many muscles that are connected to the top of their head for their chewing. Because, of course, they're like
Really,
eating all the time,
when
right?
you're bonding a human with a rabbit, you really need to listen to the rabbit.
Yeah, if they pull away, they're not right. And then you just go, okay, that's cool. I'll
Just ignore
ignore you
them.
some more.
Yeah. And if they come back and they don't pull away, then you can pet them. But you need to listen to the rabbit because they can't say anything. You need to watch the rabbit
Yeah.
and see what they think.
Yeah. And there's times when obviously a rabbit needs care. You have to pick up a rabbit if you're going to clip their nails. You have to handle a rabbit if they're getting groomed. You have to handle a rabbit if they need to go to the vet and be checked out, right?
And do note, you have to do all of those things very regularly. Because if a rabbit's nails are too long, it's really unhealthy. They can't really move well. And it's really hard to cut their nails. So sometimes you'll just take them to the vet and they'll do that.
Yeah.
We've learned how to cut our rabbit's nails.
Yeah, with our experience with Dolly was that she was fairly chill. Like, you had to hold her firmly, but she would usually be pretty relaxed once you had her firm. And you could, between myself and my husband, we worked really quickly to get, like, her nails clipped. She was a brown bun, and she had brown nails, so it was a little bit more challenging to see the quick, but yeah, it was awesome that she was patient for that. The second bunny, Bolt, who was her mate, he was actually the skittish young bun, who was more difficult. So
we'll get more into Bolt next episode.
Yeah, but anyway, to finish off with Dolly and Dolt. Dolly and Bolt. To finish off with Dolly, she did end up having a condition where her legs were not working anymore. Like she progressively got worse, and we hadn't noticed it really because we knew she was sort of slowing down and wasn't chasing and racing around with Bolt so much, but we just figured, you know, she did make her way out to where we do the exercise space and then
she's
back.
getting older and
but then she was just getting messy, and rabbits don't like to be messy. So
they're very clean animals.
Yeah, we did our best to like kind of clean her up and get her to a vet, and they did essentially diagnose that it was, with her age being sort of getting on in years, that it wasn't something they saw as being super treatable, to the point where she would be back to normal. So we kind of had the conversation around what to do and what was most humane for her, and we made a really tough decision that she was going to be euthanized, and it was a tough loss. I think the vet did a lovely job in helping us to feel that our decision wasn't a terrible decision, that our decision was based on being humane towards the animal.
And she was old for a rabbit.
Oh yeah, being 11 years old.
That is a good age for a rabbit.
Well, considering that she was found outside, obviously had been abandoned.
Yeah.
Who knows what her life was like before then. And the fact that she wasn't spayed until she was a little bit older, she was kind of lucky, because a lot of females will develop uterine cancer before then, before 6 years, probably by about 2 to 3 years. And uterine cancer takes about 18 months to sort of work its way through, and will kill a rabbit. And it's not easily detected, because rabbits are not the kind of animals that whine or cry when they're in pain. They kind of withdraw a little bit. They might be hunched up a little bit when they're really, really sick, but they do not show signs of sickness easily.
Unless the rabbit is terrified, it won't make a sound.
Yeah, or in severe pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bunnies can really hide that, and a lot of people will say, oh, my rabbit's fine, da-da-da, and they just are not looking for the signs that rabbits actually are ill.
Which is why it's incredibly important to do, like, annual vet visits.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Bolt. He is one of those buns that we've had since he was 7 months old, he's now like 10. Old man. And so, I mean, he's gone every year to see the vet, and he is so healthy for an older bunny.
Right.
And that's been part of that, and like just understanding that
hopping around, and like he's
still fast and jumps up on furniture and everything. So
hence the name.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's sort of the story of Dolly. The last thing I was going to say is that my vet was really great. They wrapped her snugly in a white towel and returned her to us, and I literally could not open the towel.
No, neither.
So, yeah, it was just, she was a hard loss. And our first bun as a family, for sure. First loss as a family. When she died,
we saw Bolt was very depressed.
Bolt was really depressed. So in the next episode, we're going to talk a ton about Bolt because, he's been with us the longest, really.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Out of all the buns, he's our oldest bun. He's our senior. Really, really healthy, though.
Oh, yeah, he's spry for his age.
He's spry for an old man.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about Bolt, and we'll I think we'll save our big bonding.
We'll save our bonding thing after we introduce all of our rabbits.
Yeah, because then you'll kind of have a feeling for where they came from,
and we can
where
explain who bonded with who, and you'll have a better inkling on like how that bonding went, because each personality goes with each personality.
Yes, and we're stupid.
We are stupid.
Everybody who gets a pet probably realizes how stupid they are after a little while. Like, they realize, oh, I think that was a mistake. I think I should have done something different. I think my rabbit or my dog or my cat or whoever didn't like that. It didn't go well. I've learned, right? So with our bunny experience, we've definitely felt, oh, why did we do that? Oh, that was so dumb. Why didn't we like research that more? Or just not knowing enough, just taking...
But really, you can't learn without mistakes.
Yeah. Well, and
like
just...
Dolly and Bolt, we tried not to bond them, but like then one day we came home and they were under the bed cuddling.
Yeah, so...
We'll get to that next episode.
We will talk about bonding.
We will talk
at another time. But
we'll talk about that after
we will talk
everyone.
about Bolt next.
Yes.
So stay tuned for the Bolt episode.
If you would like to support rabbit rescues, if you're in the Lethbridge or Calgary area, we are very familiar with Archies Angels Rabbit Rescue, who are currently bonding 5 of our rabbits together, and we have gotten many of our rabbits from them. And we really appreciate them, and we've fostered for them so many times, and they'd really appreciate adopters,
any support, anyone who wants to try out fostering. Actually, Archie's Angels Rabbit Rescue in Lethbridge right now has a really cool thing for the summer. They are basically helping families who are interested in having their youth, so not young kids, but their kids and their teenagers take time to actually foster this summer. Okay, so they will set you up with everything that your house requires in terms of an X-pen, the litter, water bowls, carrier, all those important things for your rabbit. And in the fostering situation, they supply all the food, all the hay, and they'll even clip the bunny nails for you when they need them, and they just help take you through the whole process of fostering. And for the summer, it's kind of a special thing to kind of keep kids doing something every day, seeing the effects of caring for an animal, and just learning all about rabbits. So that's happening this summer. And then they always actually have a foster to adopt program where you foster first to see if the bunny fits in your home, right? You might have dogs or cats or other animals that you're kind of like, oh, I don't know, they would kill the rabbit or something. Like, it's like, well,
some dogs will get along with rabbits, some cats will get along with rabbits.
It's true.
Important to test it first.
Yeah, well, and they would walk you through the whole process as well.
Yeah, of course. If you're interested in adopting or fostering, or you just want more information, I will be linking their site down below.
Yep.
Do you know any Calgary?
Yeah, in Calgary, as I said, Dolly and Bolt both came from the Calgary Humane Society. They're a great rescue. They have lots of rabbits on hand, lots of exotics on hand, actually.
Yeah.
And then there's also Against All Odds Rabbit Rescue, and there's also Wild Rose Rabbit Rescue that I'm kind of familiar with. So we live in the south, and Seton has a lot of rabbits right now, a feral population, and so does Walden has a lot of rabbits right now that are just like literally somebody's dumped them and then they've taken off as a colony breeding. And so Wild Rose Rabbit Rescue kind of specializes in trying to bring in those animals and sort of foster them to the point where they're, suitable pets again because of having lived sort of a rough life out basically in the elements. So we'll link all that in the description.
If you're interested in supporting it, it would be very, very helpful. Even just like donating to the cause, like any spare toys, I'm sure they would take it. Like, we've donated a bunch of our stuff from it. If you have rabbits and you want to bond stuff, they do have a foster to adopt. So if you want to bond with your rabbits, and if you're interested in getting a rabbit, I would recommend researching it, because a lot of people think that they are kind of easy, but they're not
easy.
We have a lot because we have experience.
And it's the only thing we can.
Yeah.
We can't have dogs, we can't have cats. So
please go and support all of those rescues. And we will be posting the next episode on Bolt, hopefully soon. I don't know when that's going to happen. Also, since I want to support you, if you're located in the Calgary area, please go and support Soap Brush Naturals, which is fully handmade soap, balms, and I think deodorant's coming soon.
That's true.
Shave bars.
Shampoo
it's
bars.
fully natural.
Good stuff.
Please go and support that, and I will link that in the description. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.